Okay, hi everyone. I just wanted to make this little video to kind of talk about how I knew I was transgender. And, I kind of talked a little bit about this in my coming out video, but I kind of just wanted to make a separate video on the subject to kind of help people that are kind of going through a bit of a struggle with their identity like I did. So, basically, when I think back to my childhood, I think it was kind of normal. um, you know, I guess like I was told I was a boy, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm a boy, right? So, I play with boys' toys, and I guess I was kind of rough as a kid, but I don't know, I guess like everyone's kind of like that when they're like a toddler. I do remember like one strange memory that was like, for some reason I thought I could get pregnant. I don't know why, but it's just like a strange kind of memory I had. I don't remember really wanting to play with my mom's makeup or anything. It was just kind of just a normal childhood. Like I didn't really kind of uh, identify heavily as like a boy or a girl. I was just kind of me. I think the first signs that I started to really think about my gender and like my identity is like maybe around the time I started puberty, like 12, maybe 13. As I was going through puberty, my voice started to lower, oily skin, all that jazz. I began to fantasize like what the other side would be like. What it would be like to grow boobs, like to wear women's clothes. Um, I remember like I was starting to get a little bit like uncomfortable with the prospect of like growing facial hair and like acne, but like I guess like any like teenage boy I guess is kind of like that. Like I yeah, but like I definitely remember like kind of fantasizing a lot about what it would like to be a woman. And this kind of got like a little bit worse as like high school came about. I really remember wanting to like hang out with the girls, but I just didn't really feel like that was my place. I had like a small group of friends in high school. We kind of hung out every day. But yeah, like it was a different world then. Like I kind of knew like, okay, maybe this is something I should kind of explore more and experiment with. But back then, between like 2011 to 2014, I think I said it in my coming out video, like if I was born at a later time and like even like gay people, even if like gay people were more accepted back then, like I remember people were making gay jokes and like calling each other like a faggot, like pardon my language, but you know what I mean, right? It was just a different world back then. um so everything's kind of fine and dandy, I guess. Like when I was in like in grade 12, like dysphoria really started to hit me. I remember there was this girl that I kind of really wanted to be like. um and I don't know why. Like my my attraction to girls was, I don't know if I ever really viewed it in like a sexual way. Like I guess it was different. Like I wanted to be like them. Like I kind of knew back then too. Like I was into guys, but I never really explored it. I never really explored it like dating much in high school. So yeah, um, as as dysphoria kind of took over my mind a little bit, like I started dropping like a lot, and maybe that's due to the fact too that I started working at this like restaurant, and like you kind of had to pay for your lunch. So I like when I was in high school, I like went to 190, and by the time I was like done like first year university, I was like 160. So first year university comes around. That was back in my hometown. Um, you know, I was in engineering, and I want to say like I was starting to get like depressed, like I was repressing like these dysphoric feelings. I was thinking more and more about what the other side would be like, and I started. I didn't quite start dating yet. It was probably about my third year when I moved out to the capital to go to university and do engineering properly, I guess, is when I really first took my crack at like dating proper. And for some reason, I never had the confidence to really just walk up to a girl and say, "Hey, do you want to go out on a date with me?" Like, I never, Went to a lot of bars, clubs, things like that. I was mostly sticking to like apps like Tinder, right? And I did that for a couple years, all the while going through engineering. The dysphoric thoughts, still in my head. And I guess by the time I hit the final year of university, so this would have been about the fall of 2019. I was kind of going through a bit of a quarter life crisis, I guess, like I still am, but I decided that I wanted to really act on these feelings and try to figure it out. So, like, I started cross dressing. Like, I bought a couple of women's clothes off of Amazon. I walked into a store to buy makeup, and at the time that was pretty nerve wracking, I guess. And so yeah, I started experimenting with makeup. And it was about that time too that was like, okay, like I always kind of knew that like I was attracted to guys, I guess. So I kind of started like a gay lifestyle, right? A gay dating lifestyle. And to me, it just never felt right. Like dating guys as a guy just really didn't feel right. And I think that's what really did it for me. It's like, okay, maybe you should start seeing a therapist about this. And like as I like, started dating guys more and like cross dressed more, I just liked the way I looked. So it was about I guess February 2020. I decided I am trans. I am happier presenting as a girl. And I put away my sperm and I started hormones on March 10th. And, at the time, like, I wasn't really 100% sure that I was trans, but, I'm approaching 3 months on hormones, and, I feel like it's the best decision I've ever made, honestly. Like, my quality of life has just gone up. I'm making new friends. I'm overall happier. I made out with a guy, so that was fun. So yeah, what really did it for me, I think, was the thought of like dating guys as a guy just didn't feel natural to me. And like these feelings were just repressed and repressed. So my advice to like anyone that's thinking that maybe they're trans is to just experiment, see what you like doing. And, if you're honestly more happier just living on the other side, you're probably trans. It's as simple as that. Like if you're uncomfortable presenting as your birth sex, then you have dysphoria, right? Like you're not comfortable presenting as your birth sex. So that's really all the advice I can give. Just experiment. And I guess too, I kind of want to end this video off on, I guess, a bit of a life update sort of deal. Like as I said, like I'm approaching like 3 months HRT. And, I talked a little bit about the changes, a little bit in my 2 month update. The only thing that's different, I guess, is like breast development. Like there's these lumps under my nipples now that like, I guess kind of get bigger like every day, which is a good sign, I guess. Yeah, and I feel like I still don't really know where this channel is going to go. Every time I kind of do more trans related stuff, it tends to do well. Like anytime I kind of do commentary stuff, it's like people still don't seem to like it. So I don't know, like let me know below what you want to see from me. Like keep in mind, obviously with me being trans, there's just certain things I don't want to put on the internet. Yeah, thanks for listening. I kind of know I usually try to post like on Saturday or Sunday, but like I don't know, I was just in the mood to like film a video tonight, so here you go. As always, thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow my Instagram, Miss_Allison_7. Bye.